What about the what about the scientific aspect of it? Like, how are the bodies designed in a way that NFP seems like the most like the most sensible thing to use rather than contraception? Contraception, I would say, is like working against a woman. Like for example,
Yes.
treating the woman as like, oh,
A sex object.
yeah, as a sex
Yeah.
object. But how does NFP make sure it works hand in hand with how the body is designed?
Yeah.
You
So,
spoke about the hormones, you spoke about the
Yeah.
cycle.
Yes.
How does it scientifically work? Can you explain that part, please?
So long before there was even a need for, family planning as such, to control a number of children, God has already designed this into the woman's body.
Yeah.
That woman would not be fertile throughout her cycle. Okay? So there's a fertile window in the middle of the cycle. God had already designed that.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the Bible, which is the inspired word of God, in the book of Leviticus, there's the children of Abraham. They were supposed to increase and multiply, right?
Yeah.
They were supposed to be like the stars of the sea and the sand. So they already
Stars
told
in the sky.
Stars of the sky. Sorry. Yeah. So they've already told that you have to wait 14 days from the period to have marital relations. And now we know that around the 14 days is the time of ovulation.
Yeah.
So they would maximize the chances of pregnancy.
By abstaining.
Yeah. So, and what science was there that? That's God's inspiration, right?
Yeah.
So because of this fertile window and because of this knowledge, this scientific knowledge about the cycles, we can tell with a very high degree of accuracy which is the fertile window.
Right.
Okay, and that confidence we get, especially in the symptothermal method, we get that confidence because we have two signs, the main sign, that is temperature and the mucus. The mucus comes and goes because of a hormone called estrogen,
Yeah.
whereas temperature rises because of a hormone called progesterone.
Yeah.
They're two different hormones, but when they work together, when they synchronize, it gives you more confidence in the system. You know that mucus is going away and temperature is coming up. Oh, ovulation has happened. It's a confirmation, like almost 100% confirmation that ovulation has occurred, and then we apply the rules. So that's why NFP, if you follow the rules, okay, is highly effective. And you say, okay, if you follow the rules, but if I'm saying it's called method effectiveness. Follow the method precisely,
yeah.
you'll get it.
Yeah.
And there's something called user effectiveness. Method effectiveness of a condom is 94%,
Right.
but user effectiveness, you have so many condom babies, right? So it's from 30 to 60%, depending on who's using it. Is it a husband and wife? Is it some couple, some boy and a girl in a hotel? So.
Okay.
And then a good thing about this, you don't have to use a condom. People who use a condom will use condom every day, right? They don't know where they are in the cycle.
Yeah.
And condom is no fun. That's what I heard. I've never used it, but it's no fun using a condom. That's why the man doesn't want to use a condom. Says you do the contraceptive work.
Contraception. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, it's like for us when we were cycling. She stopped now. It was like a honeymoon at every cycle. You have a period of anticipation, waiting for that time, and then
Preparing for it, for the
no,
main event.
yeah,
like,
and then you might some people might argue like, but why is the sexual desire high during the fertile time? It's not fair on the woman. It's not fair. She's feeling very much loving, and then you're abstaining.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
So we are abstaining at the time when we are most. I'm attracted to her.
Yeah.
Okay. So NFP actually, you may think, okay, you don't want a child. It is a sacrifice. Okay. And I think this is what is religion all about, right?
Yeah.
What did Christ come and tell us?
Yeah.
He says, you want Easter? Where's the Good Friday? So we have suffering, and I think Christ came to tell us, that suffering is redemptive. Even when Adam and Eve sinned, God didn't just reject them. He said, by the sweat of your brow you will, get bread on the table. And woman, he said, in pain and, what was that? You will bear your children. Yeah. So, but what is it? I remember that first time we got a baby, baby was born. And it was in Bombay, and they wheeled out Anna on the stretcher. And I was so happy, the baby is born, right? I was so happy. And she went past me and she said, never again. That was her first baby. We have 5, and so many more miscarriages. That's the point. There is suffering in pregnancy, but the joy,
Is immeasurable.
Yeah. So suffering is fruitful.
Yeah.
And I think it's a small cross. We're supposed to carry the cross.
Yeah.
Carry that small cross for a few days only. And then comes the joy.
So it's
Why
both.
not?
It's both sides. It's not just the man abstaining. It's also
Yeah.
the woman abstaining during her fertile period.
Yeah.
When she feels the
Feels
most
like
inclined towards you.
And in the good thing is, people ask us, I think maybe you want to ask her that question too, no? What to do when couples are struggling with this?
Yeah.
Same thing, you know? So, the point is, if you find that every time you're in the fertile cycle, both of you are struggling to remain apart, then why don't you consider or think, maybe God is trying to tell us something?
Yeah.
Because
tell you that have a baby.
Yeah.
Another
have a
saint.
good discussion about this. Because NFP is not to be used lightly. It's not supposed to be used lightly. You've got to have a good reason to abstain during that fertile time.
Yeah.
Because this is what he promised at the altar. We will have children.